Good morning guys and welcome to my mod 19 DPS Cleric build. To those of you who follow me only from my fighter, I'm sorry. Cleric is easier to cap, stats plus, Cleric does more damage. I'll probably be doing more fighter videos later on in the mod, but right now I'm playing my Cleric quite a bit more. But anyways, back on topic, this is a mod 19 Cleric DPS build. Let's get right into it. First things first, let's talk about race. So the absolute best race for Cleric would be the Shiny Lizard. And the reason why that is first of all you get 3% damage, but also 2.5 or 3% more HP, which is very, very important for getting to the 500k HP cap. The other alternative, if you didn't want to go Shiny Lizard, would be to go War Triceratops, but the Shiny Lizard is, actually let's look it up. So the Dragonborn class is 1.7 mil AD, and the War Triceratops is 14 million AD. So the best bang for the buck is absolutely the Metallic Dragonborn. However, if you didn't want to use this class because it was too ugly, you could go normal Dragonborn, which is a little less ugly because it's not shiny. Or if you don't want Dragonborn at all, you could go Tiefling. But keep in mind you'll be losing quite a bit of HP. I believe it's at least 10,000 HP that you'll be losing. And as far as ability scores, you want Dexterity for the extra crit sev, as well as Intelligence, because Intelligence gives you extra damage. Let's talk about the gear now. So in mod 19 the stat caps are raised. You need at least 500k HP, need at least 200k power, 90k for everything right here, and 140k combat advantage. And these are the pieces that I'm using in order to get to these caps right here. Fancy Duelist, that is modified with hit points. Ebony, that is modified with power, with the Bark Shield. Lion Guard is modified with power. Infernal Gators are modified with HP. Lionheart set, of course, with Vorpal. I don't have my at will modified, but if you did, you should probably go with Conflict Rate. It won't make a gigantic difference. Lionheart icon modifications are power and crit sev. And this is a set I'm using, the music box set. It's by far the best set. It gives 5% total damage throughout a whole dungeon, and that's just as good as Halistar or even the IC set. And by the way, I'm not even sure if the IC set will work on Zariel because she's technically a fallen angel. 2 rings with 3% range damage. This shirt will be better than the Infernal shirt because this gives you 3% damage. However, if you need to use Infernal shirt to cap your stats, use that until your stats are capped, then switch back to this. Infernal trousers for the HP. This is going to be the artifacts I'm using, so 3 journals. If you're able to go personal, go Envenomed. If you can't, I do have a Frozen, and I also have a Halistar. For your overload slots, you'll want to use either the ones that you get from the overload choice pack. You could use 5% damage and 5% AP, and once those run out, you can use the Black Ice enchantments. So make sure there are 2 different types. So you could use 1 greater corrupt piercing and 1 greater corrupt Black Ice enchantment. If they're both the same, they won't stack, so meaning only one of them are going to be working. But those are awesome for overloads. As far as Tom, you just switch out the helm to Protege or even Hood of the Cult. Protege gives a little more stats. I use the same arm piece. If the healers let you, use the Rusted Iron Leggings. They give 5% damage and they're awesome. If they don't, please don't argue with them and just keep on wearing the Infernal boots. I don't need that much HP for Tom, so I switch this out to Ghost, and I switch this out to Minstrel. So that'll bring my power up about 10k. Yeah, but that's going to be my Tom build. As far as the consumables that I'm using, here they are. So I have the Invocation Blessing, gives power and defense. I have the Potency as well as Wildstorm. Those both give crit as well as crit sev. You do need the Watermelon to get to 200k power as well as 100k accuracy. Sated, so this is going to be the Prime Rib. I'm not using guild marks or anything else, so you might as well use it and bump your HP up a little. I do have VIP that's giving me 2k HP. If you're in a VIP group for Zariel, which is pretty likely, your HP will be bumped up to about 508k. So you could replace this reinforcement with power, this reinforcement with power as well, and still be at 500k HP. So these are going to be my boons right here. Power and HP are going to be the most important. You also want Marathon Runner, maxed out Companion Influence. I need 4 out of 5 critical strike to get my critical strike to where it is. I need the armor pen. I only need 2 points in combat advantage. And of course you want to take crit sev as well as AP gain. And as far as the master boon, I like Bloodlust for the extra AP gain. I am missing 1 point from AI, and I think it's 4 points from the new place. I'm not sure if this will work on Zariel, the demonic mastery, so I'll more than likely end up putting them in defense. As far as guild boon, take crit sev. It's going to be a little bit better than power. Take HP, of course. You want 500k HP. With this one, your revive sickness would be the best option. However, I don't have it, and we're not going to PvP with this build. Next up is going to be companions. So this is my companion sheet. The reason why I'm using Quasit instead of a Boule Pup is my combat advantage is very capped without the Boule Pup. However, my accuracy needs to be at 100k because I'm a cleric, so 99.5 is close enough. But that's why I'm using the Quasit. Bonding runestones here, of course, and I'm using these 3 particular pieces of companion gear. In powered rank 15s, in my defense slot I have a profane rank 15. Potent precision is going to be the best one. Max hit points, Raptor's insight. So if I were in the Raptor party, I'd have 8k more power. Baby Decrow's presence, you want the power from this. Compy. And the beauty of the Cleric is you have 2 utility slots, so definitely take advantage of the second utility slot and put the Energon, or however you say it, in this slot. Let's talk about mounts next. So I am using the 25k hit point mount. The reason why I'm not using the 50k hit point mount is it's way too expensive for me, and I'm capped in hit points without that. As far as insignias, I have 1 aggression, which gives armor pen and crit. Otherwise, those stats wouldn't be capped. I have 4 fortitudes for the HP as well as the defense. I have mostly brutality insignias otherwise, except for looks like 3 dominant. Gladiator scales are very important. I'm not using a 3rd one because it only gives 2.5% run speed. They decrease by 50% each time you add a new one. Shepherd's Devotions, I'm only using these because it has the slots I need. So I can put 3 power insignias for each of these. However, the Shepherd's Devotion bonus itself isn't helping me at all. And I'm not sure if it really helps the teammates even, because movement speed and defense aren't something everyone is going to be needing. But these are going to be the mounts. Next up, let's go into rotation. So before we go into rotation, we should probably talk about powers first. So let's start with AoE because that's a little bit simpler. I'm using light speed because after my Searing Javelin, I use a Daunting Light, and that basically reduces the cast time of Daunting Light to almost nothing. And I am using Critical Sun. So if this daily crits, I get to cast another one right away. It doesn't matter if you use Burning Patch instead. It isn't going to make or break the build. It's up to you what you like to use. But here's my AoE rotation. So it's very important that you line everything up in a single line for Searing Javelin. So Searing Javelin, Daunting Light, Searing Javelin, Daunting Light, and then you tab until you have half divinity, at least Searing Javelin, Daunting Light, Searing Javelin, Daunting Light, and then you just rinse and repeat. If you want to use Break the Spirit, that would buff your damage by 10% because of this feat right here. Actually, let me cast it so you can see. So that increases all damage dealt by 10%. If you really want to use that, you can throw it into the rotation, but really AoE is a little bit tough on the Cleric. Using Break the Spirit won't make or break the build. Once again, the most important thing is to line everything up and hit as many targets with Searing Javelin as possible. As far as single target rotation for Cleric, it is a little trickier, but it offers probably the highest damage out of all of the classes out there today. So the must-have feats: Focus Light, Sudden Verdict, and Perfect Balance. For the class features, you want to use Doomsayer because it gives you 10% damage when you use Prophecy of Doom, and Divine Equilibrium. So this will basically average 7.5% more damage. Daily for single target is going to be Guardian of Faith. So before I show you the rotation, here are some tricks. Whenever you use Conflagrate, you want to animation cancel it. So basically press tab when your arm is coming up. So right now. So Conflagrate is going to be the quickest way to build Divinity. And also whenever there's nothing happening, like Halaster, for example, is sitting in the sky, you can just press tab, you can hold tab, and not only will you regenerate Divinity, but it will also give you a little bit of extra AP, so that's awesome. So now onto the rotation. Before combat, you want to use Sunburst on Light, and you just have to deal with the cooldown. Try to do this before everyone gets into the circle to go in. And then use the second one. And the reason why you do this 2 times is so you can build 2 stacks of Burning as well as Radiant. And so if you have 2 and 2, you'll be able to use 8 encounters in a row. So as far as rotation, you will use 2 Conflagrates. You will use your Artifact, you use Prophecy, Daily, Forge Master, Daunting Light, Forge Master, Daunting Light, 1 single Lance, Forge Master, Daunting Light, Forge Master, Daunting Light, and then you should hear the boom of Prophecy of Doom. So here's what that looks like a little bit quicker. And after that rotation, you you just configurate until your divinity is all the way full. That should take about 6 configurates. And then you rotate and do the 8 counters. If you get a sudden verdict, press tab right away so that you can regenerate divinity a little bit quicker. And then the next rotation, you use prophecy with that. That's going to be the entire rotation. I know it might sound a little confusing if you're new to the class, but just stick with it. It gets quite a bit easier. If you guys are still here, you're awesome. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll probably respond to you. But other than that, that's it for the build. If I missed anything, please let me know. And thank you for watching once again. Have a great rest of your day.